Hello everyone, welcome back to Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. Last time, Natsuki and Yuri were started fighting over their poems, but of course Sayori stepped in and told them that to stop fighting, that we're all supposed to be friends and get along. And she is right. And now we're dropped off where I had to show my poem to the 4 girls. I haven't even recorded another Doki Doki Literature Club game, but I'm back at Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. So I remember at the beginning attracting to Yuri, so I'm going to get Yuri to fall for me in Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. We're going to pick Yuri immediately to show my poem to hers. Let's see what you've written for today. Yuri stares at the poem with a surprised expression on her face. Do you like it, Lee? This one might even be better than yesterday's. How do you even pick up on this so quickly? Just yesterday, I was telling you the kind of techniques worth practicing. Maybe that's why. You did a good job explaining. Yuri visibly swallows. Even her hands appear sweaty. I'm not used to this. Used to what? I don't know. It's fine. Take your time. Yuri breathes and collects her thoughts. I know that Yuri likes to think before she speaks, so I offer that patience to her. Just being appreciated like this, I guess. It probably sounds really stupid, but seeing someone motivated by my writing, it just makes me really happy. Are you saying you've never shared your writing before? Yuri nods. Really? I don't believe it. I really only write for myself. And besides, people would just laugh at me. Do you really think that? Again, Yuri nods. Even your close friends? Yuri doesn't respond to that. I wonder why. Anyway, do you want to share the poem you wrote today? Yeah, I do. If it's with you. The raccoon, it happened in the dead of night while I was slicing bread for a guilty snack. My attention was caught by the scuffling of a raccoon outside my window. That was, I believe, the first time I noticed my strange tendencies as an unordinary human. I gave the raccoon a piece of bread. My subconsciousness, well aware of the consequences, well aware that a raccoon that is fed will always come back for more. The enticing beauty of my cutting knife was the symptom that bred my hungry curiosity. The raccoon an urge. The moon in cements fears and reflects that much non-light off my cutting knife, the very same light that glistens in the eyes of my raccoon friend. I slice the bread fresh and soft. The raccoon becomes excited on perhaps merely projecting my emotions onto the newly satisfied animal. The raccoon has taken to following me. You could say that we've gotten quite used to each other. The raccoon becomes hungry more and more frequently, so my head is always handy every time I brandish my cutting knife. The raccoon shows me its excitement, a rush of blood classic condition. I slice the bread and I feed myself again. Okay, that's actually quite impressive of this poem. I mean, it is true, when you see raccoons, you can actually feed them if you want to, since that they are wild animals and they look for food. I was a little more daring with this one than yesterday's. I can see that. It's a lot more metaphorical. I don't know if it's my fault, but I can't begin to imagine what this poem is about. That's right, it's a bit closer to my preferred writing style, using the poem as a canvas to express vivid imagery and conveying emotions through them. Yeah, if I take it at face value, then I can't even figure out what it's supposed to mean. Well, I think it's something that different people can relate on their own way. I wanted to express the way it feels for me to indulge in my more unusual hobbies. It's those sorts of things I'm usually forced to keep myself, so I sometimes enjoy writing about them. Why do you keep them to yourself? But because they're embarrassing and people will make fun of me. Don't you have anything like that, Lee? Well, yeah, I guess I do. I feel like everyone has a little something like that, even if it's difficult sometimes and some things make us uncomfortable. After all, if I hadn't learned to embrace my own weirdness, I would probably hate myself. I might be ranting a little bit now, but I'm glad that you're a good listener. Right now, who should we do next? I want to go to Natsuki since she has like very short poems that she makes. Well, I can't admit that it's better than the last one. It's nice to see that you're putting in some effort. That's good. But I still don't like this at all. It's trying too hard to be serious. What do you mean by that? Poems don't need to be all deep sounding to express something. It's going to just sound like you're forcing it unless you really don't suck at it. Honestly, don't bother trying to write poems like this until you're on Yuri's level. Natsuki stops short all of a sudden. Don't tell me you're not just trying to impress Yuri, are you? What are you talking about? And keep your voice down. You know Yuri will love this angsty. Just because she's a talented writer doesn't mean I mean, looks like I'm in trouble. I somehow struck a nerve. What I did is beyond me. I am so done with you. Natsuki shoves the poem I handed her back over to me. Take your stupid poem. If you wrote it for someone else, just don't show it to me. Ouch. This is what I get for letting a younger girl step into my business. Unless I was a mind reader, I was destined to be in a world of pain from the start. At least Natsuki wasn't really the girl I was trying to impress in the first place. You never know, because there could be a couple of endings in Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. There are a lot of different routes in Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. Now, next up is Sayori. Oh my goodness, this is so goodly. I love it, especially after yesterday's poem. You're too honest sometimes, Sayori. No, but really, I want to put this on my wall. Can I? Sayori, you must be seriously overreacting. I'm not a good writer at all. I honestly have no idea what I'm doing. Well, maybe that's why, because I have no idea what I like either. I'm sure Yuri's opinion has to be a little more constructive than this. Maybe even Natsuki's. Are you sure you don't like it just because I wrote it? Well, I'm sure that's part of it. I think I understand you better than a lot of other people you know. So when I read your poem, it's not just a poem, it's a lead poem. And that makes it feel extra special, like I can feel your feelings in it. Sayori hugs the sheet against her chest. You're so weird, Sayori. Well, I'm not very good at figuring out if poems are good or bad, but that's why I just go by my heart. If it makes me feel things, then it must be a good poem. I'm not sure that's exactly how it works. Then again, I guess my confiding feelings is a pretty important part of this whole thing. Yeah, maybe. Honestly, I don't even know what kind of writing you like in the first place. Yeah, me neither. Why don't you at least try giving it some thought? You want to write something for me? That's so sweet. Yeah, right. But you're always thinking about other people. You need to think about yourself once in a while. If you don't, you might end up getting hurt at some point. Well, I don't really know what you mean, but I'll try to keep it in mind. Well, whatever. Anyway, let's see. I guess I like happy poems. Wait, sometimes I like sad poems too. Sometimes a little bit of both. There's a word for that, right? What's the word I'm looking for? Bittersweet. I like things that are happy and things that are sad. Happy and sad. I can't see you liking something sad, Sayori. Well, I like happy the most, but sometimes when you have a little rain cloud in your head, a sad poem can help give the rain cloud a little hug and make a nice happy rainbow. Sayori, that's unexpectedly poetic. It is? Maybe I'm getting better at expressing my feelings after all. Thanks, Lee. I should go write that down then. You can read my poem now, okay? Well, this one's quite longer than the last poem. Right then, bottles, a pop off my scalp like the lid of a cookie jar is the secret place where I keep all my dreams, little balls of sunshine, all rubbing together like a bundle of kittens. I reach inside with my thumb and forefinger and pluck one out. It's warm and tingly, but there's no time to waste. I put it in a bottle to keep it safe, and I put the bottle on the shelf with all of the other bottles. Happy thoughts in the bottles all in a row. My collection makes me a lot of friends. Each bottle a starlight, it makes amends. Sometimes my friend feels a certain way, down comes a bottle to save the day. Night after night, more dreams. Friend after friend, more bottles. Deeper and deeper, my finger go like exploring a dark cave, discovering the secrets hiding in the nooks and crannies. Digging and digging, scraping and scraping. I blow dust off my bottle caps. It doesn't feel like time elapsed. My empty shelf could use some more. My friends look through my locked front door. I blow dust off my bottle caps. It doesn't feel like time elapsed. My empty shelf could use some more. My friends look through my locked front door. Finally all done, I open up and come my friends, and they come in such a hurry. Do they want my bottles that much? I frantically pull them from the shelf one after the other, holding them out to each and every friend, each and every bottle. But every time I let one go, it shatters against the tile between my feet. Happy thoughts and shards all over the floor. They were supposed to be for my friends who aren't smiling. They are all shouting, pleading something, but all I hear is echo inside my head. That's quite dark at the end. Holy crap. Sayori, did you really write this? Of course I did. Didn't I tell you yesterday I was gonna write the best poem ever? Yeah, but I mean, I didn't expect something like this coming from you. Monica taught me a whole lot, and I've been really in touch with my feelings recently. I see that. It's almost kind of creepy. Creepy? Well, not exactly. Maybe because I'm so used to you being cheerful. Well, never mind. I'm thinking too hard about it. The point is, it came out good, so you should be proud of it. Aw, thanks. I feel like I was meant to express myself this way. It even helps me understand my own feelings a little bit better. Writing is like magic. You've gotten pretty passionate about this, huh? I hope you keep it up. Yeah, writing is the best. I'm gonna keep writing until I die. Don't get ahead of yourself. Sayori's always had a habit of getting obsessed with something before dropping it no more than a week later. I wonder if this is one of those times. But seeing the passion in her eyes makes it hard for me to be pessimistic. Right, the last person is Monica, but we're just gonna click straight ahead because she's the only one left. Hi again, Lee. How's the writing going? Alright, I guess. I'll take that, as long as it's not going bad. I'm happy that you're applying yourself. Maybe soon you'll come up with a masterpiece. I wouldn't count on that. You never know. Want to share what you wrote for today? Sure, here you go. I give my poem to Monica. Alright, I like this one. It makes me think of something Sayori would like. Is that so? You and Sayori are really good friends, right? I wouldn't be surprised if you had those sorts of things in common. Well, we may be good friends, but Sayori and I are actually really different. Well, that may be the case, but maybe there are also similarities that you wouldn't expect. The way she talks about you, it sounds like the two of you really care about each other's well-being. Even if you show it in different ways, it ends up being more similar than you think. So I think that's the kind of vibe I get when reading your poem. You sure you're not reading into it too much? I could be. Oh gosh, I sound like Yuri. But in any case, Sayori's writing has kind of a gentle feel to it. I can tell she likes exploring with emotions like happiness and sadness. Who knew that someone so happy would enjoy sad things too? Yeah, that's totally unexpected. Well, to each their own, and you shouldn't be afraid to experiment a little bit either. But anyway, you want to read my poem now? I like the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too. Alright, let's take a look. Okay, this one's quite long, a little bit. Save me, the colors they won't stop. Bright, beautiful colors, flashing, expanding, piercing, red, green, blue, an endless cacophony of meaningless noise. The noise it won't stop. Violent grating, waveforms, squeaking, screeching, piercing, like playing a chalkboard on a turntable, like playing a vinyl on a pizza crust. An endless poem of meaningless. Load me. It's even more abstract than your last one. I guess it's just the way I write. I'm sorry if you don't like it. No, I never said that. It's just a kind of thing I've never really seen before, I guess. I kind of like playing with my space on the paper. Choosing where and how to space your words can totally change the mood of the poem. It's almost like magic. The way I wrote the lines really short makes it feel like they're trying to speak over the noise. I see. It's still hard for me to tell what it's about though. Sometimes asking what a poem is about isn't the right question. A poem can be abstract as a physical expression of the feeling or a conversation with the reader. So putting it that way, not every poem is about something. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes you'll find yourself facing a difficult decision. When that happens, don't forget to save your game. Oi! You're breaking the fourth wall. You never know when you might change your mind or when something unexpected may happen. Wait, is this tip even about writing? What am I even talking about? That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Well, in that case, guys, I'm going to save the game just in case. Okay, so Monica's poem at the end, it says load me, which really confused me. I'm thinking that Monica is telling me to load the game where I have to do a route with her. I'm not so sure, but I have to find out when I do other routes with other girls. So I'm doing the route with Yuri. So once I complete hers, I will do Sayori, Natsuki, and Monica next. And also, she just break the fourth wall. Monica, you can't break the fourth wall in the game. But thanks for the advice, by the way. Okay everyone, we're all done reading each other's poems, right? I have something extra planned today, so if everyone could come sit at the front of the room. Is this about the festival? Well, sort of. Ugh. Do we really have to do something for the festival? It's not like we can put together anything good in just a few days. We'll just end up embarrassing ourselves instead of getting any new members. That's a concern of mine as well. I don't really do well with last minute preparations. Don't worry so much, we're going to keep it simple, okay? We won't need much more than a few decorations. Sayori has been working on posters and I've designed some pamphlets we can give out during the event. Okay, that's a great and all, but that doesn't tell us what we're actually going to be doing for the event. Ah, sorry, I thought you heard about it already. We're going to be performing. Performing? Yeah, we're going to be having a poetry performance. Each of us are going to choose a poem to recite during the event. But the cool part is we're also going to let anyone else come up and recite poems too. Sayori's putting it on all the posters in case anyone wants to prepare ahead of time. Sayori, who's been coloring a poster, holds it up for us to see. Are you kidding me, Monica? You didn't already start putting those posters up, did you? Well, I did. Do you really think it's that bad of an idea? Well, no, it's not a bad idea, but I didn't sign up for this, you know. There is no way I'm going to be performing in front of a group of people like that. I agree with Natsuki. I could never in my life do something like that. Imagining it, Yuri shakes her head in fear. Guys, no, Sayori, I understand where they're coming from. Remember that Natsuki and Yuri have never shared their poems with anyone until just a couple days ago. It's a lot to ask for them to recite their poems out loud to a whole room full of people. I guess I kind of overlooked that, so I'm sorry, but I still think we should give it our best. We're the only ones responsible for the fate of this club. If we start the event and each put on the good performance, then it will inspire others to do the same, and the more people who perform, the better we'll be able to show everyone what literature is all about. Yeah, it's about expressing your feelings, being intimate with yourself, finding new horizons, and having fun. That's right, and it's those reasons that we're all in this club today. Don't you want to share that with others, to inspire them to find the same feelings that brought you here in the first place? I know you do, I know we all do, and if all it takes is standing in front of the room for 2 minutes and reciting a poem, then I know you can do it. Before we continue, all four of them kind of act a bit like the quintuplets. Well, most of them. Sayori here, she acts like Yotsuba, and we have Natsuki, she behaves like Nino, and as for Yuri, she behaves a wee bit like Megu, even though Megu kind of acts a bit shy a lot, and Yuri acts the same. But as for Monica, I'm not sure. She probably acts like Ichika or Itsuki, or probably both. Anyway, let's continue. Natsuki and Yuri remain silent. Sayori looks worried. I guess that leaves me no choice. I agree. I don't think it's too much to ask. I think that Sayori and Monica have been trying really hard to get new members. The least we can do is help them out a little bit. Well, maybe, but it looks like Natsuki doesn't have any arguments left. Okay, fine. I guess I'll just have to get it over with. Alright, thanks Natsuki. What about you, Yuri? Yuri dejectedly glances around at everyone else's expectant faces. Yuri is having a hard time, guys, thinking of what she had to say. I guess I don't really have a choice. That's everyone. You're the best, Yuri. This club is seriously going to be the death of me. Oh gosh, you'll be fine, Yuri. But anyway, let's move on to the main event. I want each of you to choose a poem of yours. We're going to practice reciting them in front of each other. No way, Monica, this is too sudden. Well, if you can't recite your poem in front of the club, how do you expect to do it in front of the strangers? Oh no, don't worry. I'll start off to help everyone feel a little more comfortable. Can I go next? Of course. Now let's see. Monica flips through her notebook to the specific poem she has in mind for herself. She then stands behind the podium. The title of this poem is The Way They Fly. Monica begins reciting her poem. Her clear, confident voice fills the room. More than that, her inflection is pristine. She knows exactly how to apply emotion behind each line she recites, bringing the words to life. Is this something she's done before, or is she simply a natural? I glance around me. Everyone has their eyes on Monica. Sayori looks amazed. Yuri has intense expression on her face that I don't understand. Finally, Monica finishes the recitation. The four of us applaud. Monica takes a breath and smiles. That was so good, Monica. Thank you very much. I was just hoping to set a good example. Are you ready to go next, Sayori? I'll go next. Yuri's fired up all of a sudden. Yuri clutches a sheet of paper between her hands and stands up. Keeping her head down, she walks quickly over to the podium. This poem is called Yuri Obnoxiously Glances at Each of Us. You can do it, Yuri. It's called After Image of a Crimson Eye. Yuri's voice shakes as she starts reading the poem. Just a moment ago, she practically refused to do this. Why is she suddenly putting in so much effort? As Yuri gets past the first couple of lines, her voice changes. It's almost like what happens when Yuri gets absorbed into her books. Her quivering words transform into the sharp syllables of a fierce and confident woman. The poem is full of twists and turns in its structure that she enunciates with perfect timing. This must be a rare glimpse into the whirling fire Yuri keeps concealed inside her head. Suddenly, she's finished. Everyone is stunned. Yuri snaps back into reality and glances around her as if she bewildered even herself. It's up to me to save this situation. I'm the first to start applauding. Everyone joins me afterward and we give Yuri the recognition she deserves. It's not that we didn't want to applaud for her, but we were caught so off guard that we must have forgotten. As we applaud, Yuri holds the poem to her chest and rushes back into her seat. Yuri, that was really good. Thank you for sharing. Looks like Yuri is dying for the count. Okay, I guess I'm next then. Sayori hops out of her chair and cheerfully walks to the podium. This one's called My Medal. Sorry, I giggled. Sayori, it's a lot harder than I thought. How did you guys do it so easily? Try not to think of it like you're reciting the other people. Imagine you're reciting it to yourself like in front of a mirror or in your own head. It's your poem, so it'll come out the best that way. I see. Okay then. Sayori begins her poem. Somehow it feels like her soft voice was made as a perfect match. The poem isn't aimlessly cheery like Sayori is. It's serene and bittersweet. If I were to read this on paper, I probably wouldn't think much of it. But hearing it coming from Sayori's voice almost gives it a whole new meaning. Maybe this is what Sayori meant when she said she likes my poems. It's like I get to reach more deeply into someone I thought I knew through and through. Sayori finishes and we applaud. I did it. Good job, Sayori. You should also think of Monika's advice when she explained to you about how to talk in front of people. So all you have to do is imagine you talking in front of your own reflection on the mirror. Even Lee liked it. I guess that's a good sign. What does that even mean? It came out nicely, Sayori. The atmosphere of the poem fits you really nicely, but it might be the other poems wouldn't work quite as well with that kind of delivery. I don't really understand. In other words, I've seen poems of yours where that sort of gentle delivery wouldn't work as well. They might need a little more force behind them depending on what you're reading. Oh, I know what you mean. That's what I've been practicing, that kind of thing. It's just embarrassing to do it in front of everyone. Then next time I'm going to make you pick a poem that challenges you a little more. We don't have much time before the festival, you know. Okay, now who's next? Natsuki, don't make me go before Lee. It's not like I can compare to you guys anyway. Might as well let Lee lower everyone's standards a little before I have to do it. Natsuki, it's fine. I might as well get it over with. But it's not like I have much of selection of what to read. I'll just have to go with what I wrote for today. I stand up and step in front of the podium. Everyone has their eyes on me, making me feel terribly awkward. I recite my poem. Since I'm not exactly confident in my own writing, it's hard to put energy into it. Despite that, once I finish, I receive applause anyway. Sorry, I'm not really as good as everyone else. Don't worry about it so much. I think it's less about your abilities and more about your lack of confidence in your writing. That's something that will improve over time though. Yeah, maybe. Alright then, that just leaves you, Natsuki. Yeah, I'm going. Natsuki begrudgingly gets out of her seat and makes her way to the podium. The poem is called Why Are You All Looking At Me? Because You're Presenting. Anyway, the poem is called Jump. Natsuki takes a breath. Once she starts reciting the poem, her sore attitude disappears a little. While she's still a little unenthused, Her poem has rhythm and rhyme to it. It's Natsuki's trademark style, and it works surprisingly well when spoken aloud. The words feel like they bounce up and down, as if giving life to the poem. Natsuki finishes and everyone applauds. She hops back to her seat. That wasn't so bad, was it? Easy for you to say. You'd better not make me do that again. Do you at least feel prepared enough to recite a poem in front of the other people? I mean, doing it in front of other people will be way easier. I can put on whatever face I want for other people, but when it's just my friends, it's just embarrassing. That's a surprise, Natsuki. I think it would be the other way around for me. Well, that's just how it is. So, well, I guess in that case, you won't have much to worry about for the festival. That said, I want to thank everyone for coming through. It might be hard, but I hope that you all have an idea of what it's like now. Make sure you pick a poem and get enough practice before the festival, okay? I'll be making pamphlets, so let me know ahead of time what you'll be reciting. I should probably find some other poem to recite instead. That's fine too. It doesn't have to be your own. I'm already pleasantly surprised that you're putting in all this effort for the club. It makes me really happy. Yeah, no problem. Okay everyone, I think that's about it for today. I know the festival is coming up, but let's try to write poems for tomorrow as well. It's been working out really nicely so far, so I like to continue that. Monday's the big day. I can't wait. I can do this. Alright, I stand up. There's no way I'll be able to find the same enthusiasm as Sayori and Monica, but I'll do my best to get through it. If it's for the sake of the club and impressing Monica, then I'll have to do my best. Ready to go, Sayori? Yep, look at you two, always going home together like that. It's kind of adorable, isn't it? Well, you guys can walk with us if you want. I don't mind having more people tagging along with me. Jeez guys, don't make such a big deal out of it. It must be a little nice though. How am I supposed to respond to that? It's okay Lee, you don't have to say it. Whatever. Let's go already. I walk home with Sayori once more. Even though it's only been a few days, a lot of things have already changed. But today, Sayori is being a little quieter than usual on the way home. Hey Sayori, sorry I was spacing out. No wonder, I was thinking about something from earlier. I like how we get to, Sayori fumbles with her words. So let's just say that one day Yuri asks to walk home with you. What will you do? What kind of question is that? You're kind of putting me on the spot here. Alright, we have a choice here. One is that I would walk home with Yuri. And number two, I would still walk home with Sayori. Alright guys, I will pick I would still walk home with Sayori. I hope I made the right choice. Sayori, you really think I would ditch you for Yuri? But she's so beautiful and smart. I already see her in the club every day. Besides, you always seem to really like going home together. I wouldn't just ruin that for you. You're so silly, Lee. You think about me too much sometimes. Yuri would deserve it if she wanted it so. Sayori, I've already made up my mind. I really can't figure you out sometimes. Sorry. Besides, what's the point in speculating something that's never going to happen? The conversation trails off. It's kind of weird thing for Sayori to care so much about, but I want to respect her and keep her happy too. Then again, in the festival is only a few days away. Who knows what will happen in that time? Why would Sayori question that she wants me to walk with Yuri? And what Sayori said when she said that Yuri is beautiful. But to be honest Sayori, you, Monica, Yuri and Natsuki, you're all beautiful. I will still walk with you anyway. After all, I don't even know where Yuri goes by the way. Because most people walk with their friends in the same direction. And Sayori and me walk in the same direction. But for Monica, Natsuki and Yuri, they walk in their different directions, so I don't know where they live. Anyway, let's continue on. Now we're at the poem list again. As we're going to continue on with Yuri's right, let's find some more horror poems here. Oh, disaster. Oh, that's a good one. Okay, now let me pick more. Disaster can be a bit horrifying when you're in a house and sometimes a big massive tornado comes. That is kind of creepy. Right, a cage, well I don't count that as horror. Maybe I do. Oh yeah, I was right. Graveyard. We're getting a lot of good horror poems for Yuri. How about Whisper? Okay, that one's for Natsuki. Oh, we got horror. That's good. Massacre. There we go. Oh my god guys, we're actually on fire. Oh, fear. Okay, that one's for Sayori. But it's alright, let's just keep looking for more horror poems. I think that more poems that you get for Sayori, since she likes horror, you might complete the route with her. It will be the same like if I get more poems for Natsuki, I will complete the route. And the same goes for Sayori if I completed a lot of poems for her and I complete her route. But where is Monaga? Like, I don't see her on the side of the book. The only ones I see are Sayori, Natsuki, and Yuri, but no Monaga. Anyway, continue on. Alright, we got another one for Sayori. Frightening. Games, unstable, silly, cheeks, depression, games. Oh, but this one. Alright, that's good. We got another one. Beauty, broken, kiss, passion, or comfort, explode. There are a lot of explosions and horror movies and horror games. Okay, daydream, happiness, lollipop, aura. What about essence? Alright then, we got another one. That's good. Okay, now precious, question, bubbles, romance, shopping, ocean, journeys, scars. We got another one for Sayori. Awesome, cry, perfect, charm, sweet, fantasy, flying, time. What about entropy? Okay then, we got another one. Socks, hair, anxiety, extreme, treasure, puppy, prayer, hop, feather, and grief. I think I'm gonna pick grief. Another one for Sayori, but that's alright. Dark, excitement, lied, meager, papa, peace, or after image. After marriage, that's a good choice. Misfortune, embrace, eternity, shiny, wonderful. I think misfortune. Alright, we got another one for Sayori. What about fireworks? No, that's not scary for a horror poem. Death. Alright, death for Sayori, which is pretty confusing. Why would Sayori would love that in a poem? Death. I better move on. Together, pure, extraordinary, night guy. No, that's not like a horror poem. What about pure? Okay, that one is for Natsuki. We didn't get much for Natsuki for her poem. Oh man, I'm the last one here again. Don't worry, I just walked in too. I'm probably in the classroom like this here. What's up, Monica? Were you practicing piano again? Yeah, you must have a lot of determination. Starting this club and now picking up piano. Well, maybe not determination, but I guess passion. Remember, that club wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of you, and I'm super happy that you're willing to help out for the festival too. I can't wait for the festival. It's going to be great. Weren't you complaining about it just yesterday, Natsuki? Well, yeah. I'm not talking about our part of the festival, but it's a whole day of school where we get to play and eat all kind of delicious food. I can't wait to eat your cupcakes. You sound a bit like Sayori all of a sudden. Monica, do they usually have fried squid? Squid? That's a pretty specific thing to look forward to. Oh come on, are you saying you don't like squid? You of all people. I didn't say I don't like it. Besides, what do you mean by you of all people? Because it's right in your name. Monica, that's not how you say my name at all. Also, that joke makes no sense in translation. Never mind, let's just focus on our own event for now, okay? Your reactions aren't as fun as Yuri's or Sayori's anyway. Excuse me? Where is Sayori anyway? Oh, there you are. Sayori is sitting at a desk in the corner of the room, looking down at nothing. I walk over to her. Hey Sayori. I wave my hand in front of her face. You're spacing out again. Sorry, don't mind me. You can go talk to everyone else. Is everything alright? Of course. Why wouldn't it be? It just feels like you're a little off. Sorry for assuming things. Geez, you worry too much about me. I'm fine. See? I don't know guys. I think there's something wrong with Sayori. She's never acting like this. At the beginning, she was so energetic. So there's definitely something wrong with her. I've seen a lot of animes where boys and girls always acting all sad, but whenever their friend asks them if they are okay, but they always lie to them that they are fine and they always put up a fake smile. There is definitely something wrong with Sayori here. She's never acting like this. Sayori shows me a big smile. Don't let me distract you from having fun with everyone. Well, alright, if you say so. I worriedly glance at Sayori before turning back toward everyone else. But the conversation has already dispersed with everyone back at their usual activities. Maybe I should ask Monica if she's noticed anything about Sayori recently. Since they've been preparing for the festival, they must be spending a lot of time together. I timidly approach Monica, who is shuffling through some papers at her desk. Lee, what's up? Hey, this might sound a little strange, but have you noticed anything up with Sayori recently? Anything up with her? And what do you mean? Maybe I'm reading into it a little too much, but she seems a bit downcast today. Oh, you think so? I can't say I've noticed anything about her. Monica peers across the room at Sayori, who is idly dragging a rubber eraser up and down her desk. Maybe there is something on her mind, but I'm surprised I'm not the one asking you, Lee. You certainly know her a lot better than I do. Yeah, but she's never really like this. She's always talked to me about things that bothered her, but this time when I asked her, she was really dismissive. Sorry, I know it's not your problem. I just wanted to ask if you knew anything, so you drop it now. No, it's important to me too. I mean, I'm also friends with her, and I also care about well-being of my club members, you know. Maybe I'll try talking to her myself. Are you sure about that? She seemed like she wanted to be left alone. Are you sure? Maybe she just has a hard time bringing it up with the person of interest. Person of interest? What do you mean by that? I'm saying that maybe the thing on her mind is you, Lee. How on earth would you come to that conclusion? Well, I probably shouldn't say too much, but Sayori talks about you more than anything else you know. She's been so much happier ever since you joined the club. It's like an extra light was turned on inside of her. What? No way. Sayori is always like that. She's always been full of sunshine. It's not any different now than it always has been. You're so funny, Lee. Have you thought that maybe you've always seen her as so cheerful? Because that's just how she is when she's around you. I said too much. I'm sorry, what do I know anyway? I didn't mean to jump to conclusions, so you should just forget about what I said. I'll try to talk to her, so try not to think about it for now. Alright. Monica smiles meaningfully. I know she said to forget about it, but I already know what I won't be able to get her words out of my head. Monica stands up from her desk and walks across the room to where Sayori is sitting. I watch her kneel down next to Sayori and gently talk to her, but she's keeping her voice so quiet that I can't hear her from here. I sigh and I sat myself down. I know Sayori told me not to worry about her and to have fun with everyone else, but that's impossible to do when she's behaving like this. Exactly how much do I care about her that I'm letting this weigh me down so much? Now it feels like I'm the one behaving out of the ordinary, but there's nothing I can do besides wait for Monica. Why does it feel like I'm being watched? I glance around the room. Suddenly, I notice Yuri peering at me from over her book, but she looks away just as quickly with a flustered look on her face. I realize that she won't get anywhere like this. I'd never really seen Yuri approach anyone or start a conversation on her own accord, so I have no choice but to approach her myself. By now it's a little easier for me to do that. I stand up from my desk and sit in one next to her own. I didn't mean to bother you or anything. Relax, you didn't even do anything. But I could tell that you wanted to be alone with your thoughts. Alone with my thoughts? How were you even able to tell that I was thinking like that? It's something that I do a lot, so it wasn't hard for me to spot based on your poster and expression. Not that I was staring or anything. I didn't do anything creepy like that. In any case, I guess you were right. I'm sorry if I caused you any concern. Don't apologize. Your troubles are only the concern of those who willingly share in that concern. Of course, there are certainly those who find the most comfort in keeping to themselves. But if you would prefer to share what's on your mind, then I would be glad to listen. It's really not that big of a deal. I was just feeling a bit uneasy about Sayori. Sayori? Yeah, she seems a little off today. But when I asked her about it, she didn't want to admit it to me, so I can't help but wonder if something happened to her. That's quite romantic. I didn't mean to say something stupid. It's not that I just didn't want you to misunderstand. Sayori and I have just been friends for a long time, that's all. I see. Then perhaps it is unusual for her to be dismissive to you about her feelings, or maybe I'm just reading it a little too much. Lee, the world is full of meaning often hidden deep beneath plain sight, and there are many untold mysteries behind every person, no matter how well you may know them. So you think that there might be something behind it after all? I think that Sayori is a very complex person. Her mannerisms on the outside don't always match what may be going on inside her head, and she may not always know what she wants. I noticed her strange behavior today too, and I also feel concerns for her. But in your case, it looked like she was fully occupying your thoughts, wasn't she? I guess that was the case. Sayori, she really means a lot to you, doesn't she? I guess. But you don't need to put it that way. We're just good friends, that's all. Yuri suddenly looks deeply into my eyes. Her expression is gentle and curious, as if she was searching for something. Embarrassed, I avert my gaze. Sometimes, a person mysterious are untold even to themselves, and you as someone honest and caring may uncover feelings you weren't aware were in you. I think that she would be a very fortunate person to have you feel that way about her. Yuri, you're giving me too much credit. I'm a pretty simple guy, so I think I'm pretty good at understanding my own feelings. I'm not nearly sophisticated as you. That's not compliment, is it? It is what it is. Anyway, as long as we're here, why don't we do some reading? Well, as long as you're okay with it. Yeah, I should be taking my mind off this whole thing anyway. Why don't we go ahead and get started? Actually, I have a request. Do you mind if I make some tea first? Not at all. Thanks very much. If there's one thing that can make me reading time here any better, it's a nice cup of tea. Not to mention for yourself as well. Yuri stands up and makes her way to the closet. I follow and watch as she retrieves a small water pitcher from the shelf, the kind with a filter inside. Can you hold this for a second? Sure. Yuri hands me the water pitcher and also fetches an electric kettle. I'm going to plug this in at the teacher's desk, and then we'll get some water. She walks past me and sets the kettle down on the teacher's desk. I simply watch her movements. To my surprise, the way she moves really contrasts her speaking mannerisms, especially because of her long legs. Yuri appears elegant, methodical. Okay, may I have the water pitcher? Thanks, I'll be right back. I might as well walk with you. Yeah, why not? Shall we go then? Yeah, where are you two off to? Yuri was going to make some tea, so I suddenly realized how weird it sounds to explain this to Monica. We're just filling in the water pitcher. Okay, sorry, I was just a bit curious. That's kind of a one-person job, isn't it? Monica, please mind your own business for once. Or do you want to tell me there's something wrong with helping involve Lee in club activities? My mouth gives. I suppose there's nothing wrong with that. Then let's go, Lee. Yuri quickly exits the room and I follow. Well, that was unexpected. Yuri literally just somehow told Monica to mind her own business. Instead of acting all shy, she just talked normal and said to Monica to mind her own business. Once in the hallway, she suddenly puts her forehead against the wall. I spoke without thinking. How could I say something like that? Yuri, something about the way she said that. It made me feel so irritated. What's wrong with me? No, Yuri, I think you did the right thing. I wasn't expecting it, but it's also not right for Monica to judge people like that. How come even when I do something bad, you're being nice to me? Because nothing that you do is as bad as you make it seem in your head. Nobody's perfect. We have emotions and we can't always hide them away, but you always amplify things in your head. Your mind turns a light rain shower into a hurricane. No, wouldn't you hate me for something as terrible as that? Why would I hate you? I can't hate someone for having emotions. What kind of friend would do that? Friend, you say? Yuri lifts her head. I really like being friends with you. Thanks, Yuri. I like being friends with you too. I feel kind of awkward saying something like that, but I'm doing my best to help Yuri feel better. Anyway, yeah, shall we go? Yeah. Yuri and I walk to the nearest water fountain. Once we fill up the water pitcher, we return to the classroom. Lee, do you like oolong tea? Anything is fine. Very well. Yuri sets the temperature on the kettle to 200 degrees. Now it's time to get the teapot. You really do this properly, don't you? Of course, I shouldn't do any less when I'm making tea for others, even if I'm not an expert on tea or anything. In that case, you'll only be even more impressed. Perhaps I will. Yuri fetches the teapot and begins measuring the tea leaves. To my surprise, she even starts humming a little to herself. You must be in a good mood now. Is that so? I was letting it show, and you noticed I was doing a bit of thinking, and I decided that I would try expressing myself a little bit more. It turns out it's not very hard for me to do when it's you who's around anyway. That's great, Yuri. Just don't push yourself too much. You're always worrying about me, Lee. It's very endearing. Yuri wasn't kidding. I don't even know if I can keep up with this. I watched Yuri pour a cup of tea for each of us. Lee, I have another request. Do you mind if we sit on the floor today? Why is that? It's a little bit easier on my back. I can read with my back against the wall rather than bending over at my desk. Sorry, I didn't realize. No worries. I just have back pain fairly regularly, so I do my best to manage it. Is that so? I wonder why that is. It's most likely because your posture, right? Always hunch over like that while reading. Yes, I have terrible reading posture, so that's why we should sit on the floor. Fair enough. I'll go ahead and get the book. I retrieved the book from my bag. I have some chocolate as well. It's a bag of small chocolate candies that I kept hidden from Sayori's candy raider. I take it since it will go well with the tea. Yuri and I then sit against the wall, teacups at our sides, as if in sense we assume the same reading position as last time, each holding one half of the book, except this time our bodies are even closer to each other. I can't see too well. Yuri slides closer until our shoulders are touching. How am I supposed to focus on reading like this? Yuri was always kind of cute, but when she's being less apprehensive, it's almost more than I can handle. Your teacup. Yuri hands me my teacup. Holding it with my hand that's not holding the book, I end up in a position that makes it even harder to focus, because now I need to worry about making sure I don't accidentally touch her chest. You're thinking about too much anime logic. Meanwhile, Yuri hasn't noticed a single thing. She wears her intense reading expression, and I can only presume the world around her has faded away. I use all of my willpower to focus on reading. After a few minutes, I finally managed to relax a little. I put the teacup between my legs and fumble with the chocolate wrapper. Sorry, I briefly let go of the book to finish opening the wrapper. You can have as much as you want. That's okay, I won't take any. Are you sure? If I touch it, then I might get smudges on the pages. You're right. I didn't even think about that. My bad. No need to apologize. I'll hold the book. Okay, are you sure? Of course. Sorry guys that my webcam just got turned off there, but it's back on now. Make sure it's all set. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so we got like a new image here where we're now sitting on the floor beside Yuri. So let's continue on. Yuri opens the book with both hands. She holds it so that I don't have any harder of a time reading from it. But as a result, her left arm is practically resting on top of my leg. Well, in that case, Yuri is already totally focused on reading again. Take a chocolate candy and pop it into my mouth. Then I take another chocolate and I hold it up to Yuri. She doesn't even look away from the book. She simply parts her lips as if this situation was completely natural. But that means I can't stop here. I apprehensively place the chocolate in her mouth. Just like that, Yuri closes her lips over it. Oh look, you can see the chocolate in her mouth right now. Yuri's expression suddenly breaks. Oh my god, look at her reaction. It's freaking adorable. Did I just... Yuri looks at me like she needs to confirm what just happened. Lee? Sorry, I guess I shouldn't have done that. Well, you were just helping. That's something that friends do, right? I mean, not really in this kind of context, but yeah, that's all it was. Yeah? Then you don't need to stop or anything. I see. The situation has gotten really tense. Yuri tries to return to the book, but I could tell by her expression that even she can't focus now. My heart is pounding. Nervously, I take another chocolate between my fingers, but this time, Yuri's eyes meet mine. How did it even come to this? Yuri doesn't avert her gaze. I notice her chest rising and falling to the rhythm of her breath. I raise my arm. Like before, Yuri parts her lips, but it's different this time. I take the chocolate and place it in her mouth. Not gonna lie, this sure is adorable of how me and Yuri are basically just sitting on the floor reading a book and I'm also feeding her chocolate. And I hope Monica and Natsuki and Sayori don't get the wrong idea of me and Yuri are doing. I feel her hot breath on my fingers. Okay everyone, Amoka has to ruin the moment. Yuri draws back. It's time to share poems. Lee, you can help Yuri put away the tea stuff, right? Yeah, of course. Okay, thanks. I spell is abruptly broken. I'll take care of the cups. Yeah, Yuri picks up the teacups from the floor. I pick up the bag of chocolates. In the end, we hastily clean up without so much as a word between us. I get the feeling this is something neither of us will have the courage to bring up. Oh man, that was hilarious. Alright, so we're now at the poem choice again. But in that case guys, I'm going to end it here since this is part 2 of Doki Doki Literature Club Plus, and I'll be continuing on this part in part 3. So I hope you enjoy this and make sure you leave a like and subscribe. And it was very hilarious of how me and Yuri are just sitting on the floor reading a book and also feeding her chocolate. And like I said before, I hope Monica, Natsuki and Sayori don't get the wrong idea that thinking that me and Yuri are a thing. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all on the next video. Lee Hep is out.